Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. In the first update of the day, we have a recent update from Nick Walker. And after the last time I talked about Nick Walker, some people think I have something against him, which isn't the truth. I just noticed in the video I shared, Nick was having a hard time controlling his midsection in between poses. And I actually shared that because I've never seen Nick Walker have the issue. Even though he has a wider midsection, Nick Walker probably has some of the best ab control in the pro league and also can hold his poses for a very long time. So hopefully this won't be an issue for him at this year's Olympia. But taking a look at these updates, Nick Walker definitely looks bigger and better. My only concern is still going to be the quad area. Not seeing much separation or many striations, but hopefully once Nick Walker slaps a tan on, we'll see a little bit more. And in the next update of the day, we have recent updates from Michal Krizo. And just from me listening to opinions around the bodybuilding world, seems like everyone thinks Michal Krizo has the potential to be in that top 6. But it also seems like everyone thinks if Krizo brings their Prague Pro package, that will not be good enough to land him a top 10 position. And the main two knocks for Michal Krizo are basically conditioning and posing, and he can definitely improve the conditioning by this year's Olympia. But will he be able to improve his posing and his posing endurance? Especially with this being one of the most competitive Mr. Olympias in a very long time, they're probably going to work these guys very, very hard. And the guys that start to fade first are going to be the ones to shift down in placings. And in the next update of the day, we have recent updates from Samson Dauda. And I think it's very possible that Samson, Michal Krizo, and Andrew Jack could all be in the same call out. They could honestly all be side by side. Now, we're comparing those three. It's going to be hard for Samson to beat Andrew Jack in the front shot. It's going to be hard for anybody to beat Andrew in the front. But Samson definitely may have the edge in the side poses. Samson versus Krizo, as we just said, Krizo's main knock is posing. And to me, Samson is the best poser in the open class. But I think it would be very interesting to see those three guys fight it out. But who knows, maybe one of them can leapfrog into their first call out. Maybe two of them. But Samson's quads are looking very good in this update. Probably some of the best we have in the open class. Very good quality, deep separation, good striations. And also, Samson has some of the best quads from the side as well. Up there with Big Ramy and Akeem Williams. I believe Samson is probably the biggest guy we're going to have at this Olympia outside of Big Ramy. But I'm excited to see this guy on stage very, very soon. And switching over to Justin Rodriguez, we have some recent physique updates from him. And unfortunately, I think Justin derailed all his hype for this year's Olympia just because he didn't have the best showings at his last 3 shows. But if we rewind just back to the Boston Pro, Justin Rodriguez did place ahead of Samson Dauda and Steve Kuclo. And as of late, Justin is honestly looking pretty good. And I'm not saying that Justin will come into this year's Olympia and fight for the title, but if he is on, he would definitely give guys some trouble around their 10th place position. When he's on, this guy has an incredible back and is also very, very wide. Now, switching over to classic physique, we have recent updates from Urs Kalecinski. Let me know in the comment section below you guys' first impression on this front double bicep. Has Urs Kalecinski improved since this year's Arnold Classic? And I would have to say I believe so. Honestly, his waist looks a little bit smaller than what I remember. And the main 2 spots we're going to look at with Urs Kalecinski is going to be the back and the arms as usual. And taking a look at this back double bicep, I would definitely say the back has improved. And also, he's improved his execution of this shot. But take a look at the lower body of Urs Kalecinski, world-class legs. And similar to what I said about Nick Walker, Urs is a younger guy. But the level of graininess he has is just insane. Look at the quads in the back double bicep. Dorian Yates-esque. Also, striations throughout the delts. Urs is definitely going to bring a very good package to this year's Olympia. And he is definitely the closest athlete to Chris Bumstead's structure. So watch out for this guy. Now, switching over to Fabian Mayr, we have recent updates from him. And in my personal opinion, I believe Fabian is one of the most complete bodybuilders in this class. And I think Fabian will probably be close to Logan Franklin in placings. Both of those guys are a little bit taller. Logan may have a more classic shape, but Fabian is a little bit bigger. I think it'll be a good matchup if those guys are side by side. Now, switching over to Dancovea Anderson, the winner of this year's Texas State Pro. Now, these pictures was actually the day of and the day before the show. Just want to get you guys' opinion. Can this guy find himself within that top 10 this year? And as you guys can see, he has a physique and structure I think that is very similar to Terrence Ruffin, who does very well in this division. And Dancovea has made a lot of improvements just since this year's New York Pro. Hopefully this guy can bring his best package to date at this year's Olympia. Now switching over to 212, we have a recent guest posing from Kamal Elgargni 4 weeks out from this year's Olympia. And Kamal plans to regain the 212 title and then head into retirement and then pop out maybe for the Masters Olympia. I hope that Kamal dieting down to 212 doesn't have a negative effect on his look. This guy looked really good in the 2 open shows that he did. Now switching over to Eduardo Correa. This guy is looking very good ahead of this year's 212 Olympia. The level of condition and graininess he has throughout his entire body is just insane, and that is what we call that old man muscle. As I mentioned in my 212 breakdown, if any guys come off with conditioning, even if they have a prettier shape than Eduardo, he will edge them out. 212, once again, is about being the most conditioned from head to toe. And ending this video here with the archive of the day, pretty easy to guess these 2 bodybuilders, so you guys try to guess the show and also the year. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.